Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Jonathan, and welcome back to the Pack Talk. I know I took another couple days break. I've been writing down basically the rest of the teams I want to cover. Um, and like I said in the last video I did 3 days ago, who and that video got a couple of views on it, so I'm kind of happy that a lot of people have found uh, my channel sort of in the video. Um, Well, again, like I said in the last video, I'm going to cover 2 and 2, I believe. It might be actually 2 and 3. Um, but for this video, I'm just going to cover the Packers, or the Green Bay Packers, and the Houston Texans. Um, Overall, one fascinating, uh, unique team in the Packers, um, and then one not so good team. So this should be a relatively short video covering these two teams. The Packers, I'm going to start off with, as you guys know, my favorite team, the Green Bay Packers. I said in my description and in my intro video. But, I'm a realist, and when it comes to the Packers, I don't know how they're going to fare this season, especially with the loss of Devontae Adams. But going through the names here, they are still pretty loaded, especially on the defense, which I think they should have a top 3 defense in the league. But more on that coming up here. Let's run down the offense. So right now at quarterback, of course, they have the best quarterback in the league by far. I don't care what anybody says. It's Aaron Rodgers. And then at backup, they have Jordan Love, which, again, probably is one of the worst draft picks in the modern NFL history. Because he's just useless. He's not going to play. And these preseason games have showed he's had no growth, so I don't know. They should trade him as soon as possible to get at least some value back from that atrocious pick a couple years back now. At running backs, they have Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Good 1-2 punch. Um, I expect Aaron Jones' workload to be a lot more this season, again, with Devontae Adams leaving. So they're going to use him a lot in the pass game and especially the run game. And then A.J. Dillon is a freaking truck. He's going to run over any defender that he comes in contact with, and he's going to compete for those yards. I really like A.J. Dillon. Didn't like him coming out of the draft when they drafted him, but he has grown on me tremendously, and I think a lot of Packers fans can agree with me on that. At wide receiver, Colin Cowherd, I watch the show sometimes. I have to agree with him. I don't think the Packers have a wide receiver one. It's just wide receivers. They have Alan Lazard, who is going to be that wide receiver one type of player. He's going to be that go-to guy. But you also have that someone who trusts, someone that Aaron Rodgers trusts a lot, in Randall Cobb, a veteran wide receiver, good to have on this team. They have Sammy Watkins, another veteran that could also prove useful. My buddy thinks that with Aaron Rodgers, Sammy Watkins could have a resurgence in his career here and even get upwards of 11 touchdowns, which, as a Packers fan, I'm hoping, but I don't know. I see maybe realistically 4 or 5. If he could do that, that would even be good or beneficial. I think if Alan Lazard could get like 8+ touchdowns, and then Aaron Jones, I think, has to get most of the touchdowns on this team. Most of the touches for sure if they want to go somewhere. I just don't trust a lot of people on this team. And then, of course, they got the rookie wide receiver that they drafted this past draft in Christian Watson, who I didn't really know coming out of this draft, but hey, people are saying they got to hit this guy has a lot of upside, so I'm down to see it. And then the surprise in training camp as of today, Romeo Doubs has had a lot of buzz at wide receiver, 4th-round pick coming out of this draft for the Packers. I'm so happy the Packers finally went with weapons this draft, and it seems like they might have got a steal at round 4. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers connects with him a lot this season, and it should be fun. At tight end, they have Robert Tonyan and Josiah DeGuara, which, those are 2 solid tight ends, I guess. But Aaron Rodgers doesn't really utilize his tight ends a whole lot unless he really trusts you and they're wide open. except if you're Jared Cook, which I think they should have kept Jared Cook a couple years back after making that tremendous grab in the NFC divisional game against the Cowboys. But I digress. And at kicker, they have Mason Crosby, who honestly, his time is probably dwindling down with the Packers. I think they should look for a new kicker sooner rather than later. Preferably next season for sure, if he has another terrible outing. And then we're going to move to the defense now. Who is loaded at defense, which is loaded at defense for sure. I think they can definitely be a top 3 defense in this league. Let's start off here. You got Kenny Clark, you got Dean Lowry, and the rookie draft pick Devontae Wyatt at defensive end. You have Devondre Campbell, Chris Barnes, and Quay Walker, another rookie that they drafted out of the draft this past year. At linebackers, even more linebackers. They have Rashawn Gary lining up there now. They got Preston Smith still, who should have a better year this year. He kind of fell off last year, but I think he should be better. He's still a good player. Jair Alexander, another top 3 corner in this league for sure. Eric Stokes, who came up big last year. Rasul Douglas, which was the surprise last year. Then you have, of course, Adrian Amos and Darnell Savage at safety. Like, you have all these names at defense. If they could just, mesh well this season, they have promised to be a top 3 defense in this league. And Jair was hurt last year, so it's great to have him back big time. My top 3 fantasy picks. I have a lot of fantasy options on the Packers, to be honest, but if I had to pick a top 3 for the Packers right now, Aaron Jones at 1 would be most beneficial. Like I said, I think he's going to get most of the grabs here. He should at least. So if he gets most of the workload, he's going to be your top fantasy option. I don't know why he would slip farther than around 3 in a draft. Should be rounds 1 or 2 for sure. Let's go at number 2, Aaron Rodgers, of course. I know he's at 2 and not 1, but only because for the fact of I don't know who he's going to throw it to, and who knows if these wide receivers are going to pan out for him. And then third, I'd definitely pick up Packers defense for sure. They didn't lose anybody. They just gained. They're either the same or better in every defensive category on that defense. All right, notable. I have 5 notable fantasy picks for the Packers. 5. A.J. Dillon, for sure, could get you some good goal line work and just some good yards here and there. Allen Lazard, if Aaron Rodgers ends up using him mostly for passing at the wide receiver position, for sure, Allen Lazard. I guess the coin flip pick here is Sammy Watkins. If he can get going on this team, I think he could be useful. Christian Watson, the rookie, you could take a spin on. And then Romeo Doubs. So basically, I like all those wide receivers. You could take a spin on any of those. It's just going to be a question of which one is going to pan out. They should all be bench players, if not Allen Lazard in your flex at the max. I don't see why you would put any of these players in wide receiver 1 or 2 position. Keep them on your bench, see how they play out for you this season, and maybe one of them pans out. Usually that's how the NFL and teams work. There's always one player that is the surprise on each team, and you want to keep a close eye on it in waivers or draft. Okay, let's move on to the Texans now, which honestly, I'm going to make this very brief. The Texans are not going to be a good team. I think, I think they have a little bit of something going in their organization. I like how, the organization's kind of moving. They're moving forward. Let's just say that. They're moving forward. They're not moving back. Especially what helps most is that quarterback. They have Davis Mills, which had a couple promising games for them last season. They didn't win a lot, but you know, a lot of people weren't expecting some guy named Davis Mills to be, kind of relevant in talks at quarterback. So you got Davis Mills at quarterback. We'll see how he pans out this year. And then they got Kyle Allen as their backup. Now, I heard yesterday or last night that at running back, I thought it was going to be Dameon Pierce, who was going to be, their rookie running back that they're going to start. But Lovie Smith, for some reason, is not committed to having him at the one, which I don't know why. But we'll see. He's going to go with Marlon Mack, I guess. Marlon Mack he's been around for quite some time now. He's been on the Colts. He's okay. He has his games where he's really good, but I think he's just a supplementary guy to the running back. I think Dameon Pierce will eventually emerge as the top back and young stud at running back for the Texans. And then you got Rex Burkhead at running back 3, which could get you a good goal line punch through for the Texans. At wide receiver, you got Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is definitely the golden trash bag on the Texans. He is that bright spot. I like Brandon Cooks a lot. He's a very reliable wide receiver. Then you got Nico Collins and Chris Conley at the other wide receiver positions. You have a somewhat elite wide receiver and then two kind of like meh, other wide receiver options. Then at tight end, they have someone I've never heard of before in my life. His name is Brevin Jordan. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Don't know much about him. We'll see how he pans out this year. And then at kicker, they have Kami Fairbairn, who honestly is probably the most, how do I want to say, like the kicker with the hottest seat, I think. Next to Mason Crosby, I don't even care. Like, next to Mason Crosby, I think this guy's on the hottest seat. If he doesn't perform, he's going to definitely lose his job next year. They're going to draft a freaking kicker. On defense, literally the only highlight on defense, this is where they're going to lose a lot of their games. They have nobody on defense. It's Derek Stingley Jr. at corner. That's it, to be honest. I saw nobody else on that defense that was worth mentioning. They drafted him this year, build around him on defense. Like I said, our organization is moving forward slowly. I don't know if they're going to get any trades going their way, but definitely build around him in later drafts, and, we'll see where the Texans go. And then at top 3, if I had to pick a top 3, in no particular order, would be Dameon Pierce, Brandon Cooks, and Davis Mills. I guess if you have to pick a quarterback, that's your best option. Notable, I guess. The notable becomes more prevalent now than ever since I heard the news last night, but it would be Marlon Mack, I guess. Keep him on your bench if Dameon Pierce is not going to be the running back 1. Marlon Mack would definitely be a pretty good supplement. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, kind of a relatively shorter video. I'm going to try to crack out a couple more videos today, hopefully, and I'll see you guys in the next one.